Hello everyone, I'm Mark Dorenkamp with Managing for Profit on Brownfield, a content partnership with John Deere. Today I'm in the field south of Mason City in north central Iowa, visiting with Josh Heitsusen, who is planting corn on April 15th. Josh, the conditions look pretty fantastic right now.
Yeah, for this early in the season, it's pretty darn nice. We've got enough moisture to plant the corn in a nice moisture band, but dry enough that we're not really worried about sidewall compaction or any other concerns for this time of year. So yeah, as long as we're letting the ground sit long enough after we work it before we plant it, it seems to be working very well.
Tell us about your farming operation, how many generations, what you produce, things like that.
Yeah, so the farm was established in 1890, so we're running on 130 years or something of the same farming operation. I believe I'm generation number 4, I think. Farm mainly row crops. We got a few feeder cattle and then sell some seed on the side with my wife, and primarily my mom and dad as the farm labor and my brother. Mom and dad are kind of phasing out of the operation, so we're trying to get things bought from them and take over.
Tell us about the fleet of machinery that you use, and obviously we're in a John Deere 8320. Planter is a John Deere. Why John Deere?
We've always had really good luck with our John Deere equipment. Service has been fantastic, is a lot of it, and the people, with anything you do, whether it's seed, chemicals, and machinery, it's a lot about the people you work with as much as what you're using itself. So we work primarily with Van Wall in Green, Iowa. Had great luck with the service crew there and the parts guys and the salesmen. So, a lot of it's because Daddy always had green. So we just stick with it.
That goes a long way, doesn't it? So Josh, as we're out here planting today, maybe take us back to when you were preparing for the growing season and how you use Operations Center and different John Deere technology to formulate your plan for the growing season.
Yeah, so a lot of the plan for this year is based on what was done in previous years. We've been using Operations Center a lot for tracking each pass and product that go across the field and trying to figure out where we're getting our best return on investment. So a lot of that is, as far as seed is concerned, we're tracking varieties, which we've been able to do for a long time, but with the newer advancements on Operations Center, we can really pick out in different spots of the fields and on different soil types how different varieties are doing in different areas. So that helps a lot for the seed planning part of what goes where. And then the partnerships that we can do through the Operations Center are helpful in getting our prescription planning rates made. So we're working with a third party that is a partner with our Ops Center, so they get our yield data. We send our soil samples to them. We combine all of that to see which areas of the field are the most productive, and then work together to build prescription planning maps to put the rate that we think needs to be done in different areas of the field. As far as the fertilizer is concerned, we're doing some variable rate fertilizer, mainly in the fall, and that as well, a partnership through the Ops Center with our fertilizer dealer to see, in these certain areas, if we put more, are we going to get bushels, or is this testing low and it's also a low productive area of the field?
You can't put a number on it right now on the spot, but give us an idea of how that sort of information helps your bottom line.
Yeah, so it's really a simple, the logistics that go into it are kind of complicated, but it's a simple thought of, if this part of the field has the potential to grow 280 bushel corn, in order to do so, it needs more groceries, needs more fertilizer, and there has to be more plants out there. So, on the other side of it, if we have a lower productive part of the field, it maybe doesn't need quite as many groceries, and we can put more seeds out there, but we're not going to get any more bushels. So a lot of this stuff, we're putting the same average out over the whole field, but pushing areas and pulling from others. If that can increase our yield by an average of 10 bushel an acre, things start to add up pretty quickly.
Can you imagine what it was like pre-auto steer? Hope everybody gets a look at how comfortable you are in the driver's seat right now.
I left my boots on just in case we had to go out and change something, but usually they're off. So, it's the auto steer portion has really made it to where we can run longer days. As dry as it's been the last few years, if you're going the wrong direction, you can't really see where you're going for all the dust. So, that has really been a blessing to have that and pretty much all the equipment. Anymore, if that stops working, we don't really know what to do. So.
And you're planting at a pretty good clip today, 8-9 miles per hour. What's the population of the corn?
Yeah, so our average population on this field will be about 34.5. If we watch the screen going across the field, right now we're in a little lighter spots. We're at 32.5. I think our max population on this field is 38.5, something like that.
Josh, let's kind of cover the planter here, the width and the different things that you've done with this planter since you first acquired it.
Yeah, so we bought this planter in 2014. It's a DB60 24-row John Deere planter with a Bauer frame. It had Maximerge 5 units on it, which were hydraulic driven when we bought it. We ran that, and it had pneumatic downforce with air when we bought it. And then somewhere in the 2019 frame, we converted it to ExactEmerge. Part of that tying in, we're doing a better job of prescription planning. Electronic drives respond a lot faster coming in and out of different zones. So that was an appealing part, and especially the hydraulic downforce for seed placement. We really like the job that it does of keeping that furrow consistent across the field and keeping our seed depth consistent. As far as other add-ons, we are running a smart box system on it, not on this field because it's rotated ground, but all of our corn-on-corn will run the smart box system to put some granular insecticide on for below ground protection.
And you want that consistency. Uniform emergence is key to getting good corn yield.
Yeah, yep. And we like watching these pages and seeing our singulation up above 99% to get that picket fence stand. Looks really pretty. The more we dive into it, we aren't getting quite as many bushels from that. It's the uniform emergence is where our bushels are really coming from. So the hydraulic downforce, we feel, is doing a good job. A lot of our fields are a little more variable. So it's hard to set it in one medium spot and feel like you're getting them just right all the way across the field.
How about the other equipment that you use and how, whether it's kind of the way they communicate with each other or having the technology that can work during the spring and the fall and how it's all sort of synergistic, how important is that?
Yeah, that's very important. Through the Ops Center, and I've talked about some of the partnerships, but I have a cousin with a Hagee that sprays all of our fungicide on our corn. So when he runs John Deere technology on his Hagee, so when he's spraying the fungicide, he gets all that done, and seamlessly we can take that data, put it on our Ops Center. It goes right to the fields it's supposed to, and then we can track, different products, different application rates, and see if we're getting more bushels from any of those. Being able to, because we don't make every pass across the field ourselves, so being able to pair up with other people that are making the passes and put all that data into one spot and analyze it all together you can't really put a number on that. That's super important.
What else about the technology from John Deere that you use would you like to highlight today?
So we aren't using it this spring, but the wireless data transfer is very nice to put things to the operations center. Usually I utilize that in the harvest season more. We get done combining the field, and I'm not real patient for waiting for results. So it's nice that when I get done working on equipment at night, I can hop right on, see what that field did, post-calibrate it. Our grain cart scale is paired up with the Ops Center even, so we have our grain cart weight there, and see if there's any anomalies in the yield map that jump out at me right away. Because if there is a fertility thing or something that shows up or something that gets missed, the earlier we catch it, the earlier we can correct it and make corrections for the next year.
Well, I sure appreciate your time today. Thanks for having me out, Josh.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mark.
I'm Mark Dorenkamp with Managing for Profit on Brownfield, a content partnership with John Deere.